Hey everyone, it's Liam, the Deaf Doom Metalhead. I hope you're all well. It's time for another What's Kicking My Ass, where I pick 5 albums that I've been listening to for the last couple of weeks that I really like, and hopefully you will too after this video. So yeah, it's pretty much a heavy mix this week. Not any doomy slow stuff, more just aggression. I've really had a death metal kick and a black metal kick. So these are all death metal albums essentially. With doomy elements in there. I mean, there's one death doom band, I guess you'd call it, but I just want blast beats at the moment. So yeah, let's enjoy these. So first on my list is the Japanese band Coffins with the album Buried Death. This came out through 20 Bucks Spin in, I think it was 2008, but this is like the third repress of this. I think I got this in 2016. This one came out maybe. And if you don't know who they are, they're essentially like a how could you call them, like a death and roll, really old school death metal in a way. Really, it's got like kind of that Motorhead vibe as well in their sound. So it's just, you know, solid, fast. There is some slow doomy bits in there as well, but it's like just really crusty, punky, in your face kind of death metal, not like blast beats and guttural, all that kind of thing. It's more, if you could pitch Discharge as a death metal band, you could probably maybe match them up with that as well. I mean, if you get what I mean. This band have been around since I think 1996. The main guy in it is this chap here. I believe he's the main songwriter, Uchino, I think his name is. And yeah, I mean, it's solid. I mean, I discovered these guys quite a while ago. I think it was the band name that appealed to me, and I checked it out. And it was this album artwork that caught my attention. I have this on a t-shirt as well when I was at a festival. It doesn't fit me anymore, unfortunately. It will do. But I now have it on LP. I've had this for a good couple of months now. It sounds fucking awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot you could say about it. I mean, what I did find out was they've got 22 splits, so I think they only have a handful of full-length releases, but they're featured on 22 splits with other bands, which is just insane. And when you're buying vinyl, if you look in the death metal sections, you will find Coffins on a split with whatever band. That's the vinyl there, like a blue vinyl, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, it's no nonsense, old school crusty punk kind of death metal. They're a great band. Really unfortunately, I thought we might have played them live a few years ago, but we didn't get asked to play when we applied, which kind of sucks because I really want to see them live. They came to London a good couple of years ago, maybe last year before that, and I really wanted to go, but couldn't go either. So yeah, do check them out. I mean, there's so many different releases you can go and see. I mean, the new album I haven't listened to yet, but that's quite cool. And I think they've also got a CD with all the splits on one like box set, which, you know, I want, but I kind of want to have all the 7 inches, just so, you know. There's 22, so who knows, I'd ever get all them. But yeah, Coffins, check them out. Next one is an American death metal band from Portland, Oregon. They were formed in 2008, and again, it's just sludgy, horrible sounding death metal, really murky, up-paced, then really slowed down, and the vocals have got tons of reverb on it, and kind of gives you that kind of tomb kind of sound. And that is Ritual Necromancy. Let's see if I can do it without getting any glare on CDs. This album is the Disinferred Horror, I think it is. It's hard to read in the font. But yeah, through Dark Descent Records. It's fucking heavy as fuck. Really good album from start to finish. Just sets you into a kind of like a zone, and it kind of just carries you along. Really sludgy guitars. You know, if you like kind of bands like Tomb Mold, Mortisferum, you know, all that kind of really old school sounding new wave of death metal bands, I guess you could say, because there seems to be so many of them now, especially coming out of America as well. I mean, everyone loves the 90s death metal bands, but like, you know, there's so many great new bands coming out, and you know, nothing fancy, you know, all mysterious and dark, graveyards, all the kind of shit I like in a band. But yeah, I discovered this band again by accident, just kind of looking for new music. On a few record sites that I kind of check out and spotted this one, and the kind of the album artwork kind of stood out a little bit. So I checked them out, and yeah, I fucking liked it. So I bought the album. Simple as that. So yeah, check them out if you like that old school kind of death metal, really sludgy sound. But yeah, next one is another American band from Boston, and that is Innumerable Forms. And the album is Punishment in Flesh. This is a juggernaut of a sounding album. It's hard to describe. I mean, if you like bands like Hooded Menace, old school death metal like Blasphemer, not Blasphemer. Oh, what the fuck are they called? It'll come back to me. This band, they just sound like caveman, old school death metal, really slowed down, like Winter almost in a way. That's the one I was thinking of, but a bit faster in some parts and a bit more. You know, the riffs kind of fill out a bit more than what Winter would do. But this, I believe, is a one-man project for the main part, and there's a few guest musicians on it. Interesting facts about this one that I read up on was Justin DeTore is the guy who writes all the stuff, but it features the drums of a guy who was in Power Trip for some time. So you do get that. There's a lot of fast double kick, blasts, that kind of thing. It's just insane. I mean, what else did I write about it? Genocide Pact, the drummer's also a part of, if you know that death metal band. So yeah, really good album. I think it came out in 2018 through Profound Law. It's just heavy, really heavy. I mean, I think that's their band logo in there, but I couldn't fucking read that if I tried. Yeah, it's a cool artwork inside the gatefold. Just black vinyl. Nothing fancy, but it's just one of them albums you can put on, again, like the one I just showed you. Ritual Necromancy, you know, proper brutal, really slowed down in parts, really fast in parts, you know, really horrible stuff. I fucking love it. So yeah, check that one out. And then this band is kind of like totally different to all them ones. You know, you got all the sludgy death metal stuff. This one is more in the vein of your traditional Death Doom. They're Swedish, and that is very strangely band named the Gardners. Terrible band name in my opinion. The logo kind of makes it look a bit smarter. So you know, you haven't just got the Gardners, and they've put a Z on the end to make it a bit more cooler. But this is the first album, the System of Nature. I got this really cheap. I think I only paid like a £5 for it, for a full, you know, gatefold album, which is, you know, insane, because I believe there's only this one, an EP, and another full length they put out a couple of years ago, and that's got female vocals. This one is just your simple death metal vocals, dual guitars, lots of solos, really good harmonies. I believe it's a one-man project for the most part by a chap called Wilhelm Lind. There, you can see him there. So he's the guy who does all the writing. I think this guy here, the bass player, he's been throughout all their releases. There's only a few. This is the vocalist here. He's left. This guy though, it's interesting with this album. It was mixed in Chile. So the band is Swedish, but they got a drummer from Chile to do the mixing of it, and he's in the band Pentagram Chile, if you know them, the death metal version, not the Stoner Doom version from America. And I think it was Sadism. Yeah, the Chile band Sadism, which has been around since the late 80s. So that was weird to see that he's the drummer on this album, only this album. And he mixed it, and it's been mastered by Dan Swano, who everyone knows is, you know, done fucking hundreds of albums. Edge of Sanity is obviously his band, Bloodbath, that kind of thing. This came out through, I don't know what this came through, Mechanics, it says. I don't really know, it's a strange one. There's not really a lot. I mean, it's got a lot of thank yous in it. Yeah, Negative, I've never heard of it. Negative Records. And licensed by the guitar player, Lind Productions. So I'm guessing it might be a self-release. I don't think it is. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. I mean, it's a brilliant album. I really like this one. The EP after this is really good. The third album is maybe the second album even, should I say, or the second full length. there's about 3 tracks on there I really like. The rest of it's a bit naff, but this is a solid all the way through album for me. So I'm really chuffed I got that. So do check them out. They're really good. Just a strange one to kind of find physical formats for, because the EP I haven't found anywhere, and you can only buy their the current release through them on Bandcamp, and it's very expensive on the shipping for a CD. So I haven't got that yet. So I'll wait for that to drop down. Last on my list is a brilliant album for me. I discovered it back in March this year. Been around for a while, but again, I got it for a recommendation from someone else's YouTube, like kind of blog page, and I mentioned it, and I listened to it on Spotify or YouTube Music, I think I had back then. It's not on Spotify, and it sounded fucking awesome, so I had to go and get it. And that is this band here. The glare on it's going to be awful. This is DeathEvokation, the Chalice of Ages. Now they're an American death doom band, but their singer is German. So when I first heard this, before I knew anything about them, I just assumed it was like a Scandinavian death metal band, because it's got that kind of like your traditional sounding Scandinavian metal with loads of solos, blast beats, double kick, lots of rhythm going on, but there's lots of slow doomy parts, and the vocal style as well, obviously because he's German it makes sense. It's got that kind of European sound to it, but they're from California, and it's been put out for Extreme Music, which is a Madrid label in Spain, in 2007. But I mean, I listen to this loads, and I still do. I still dip in and out of this album now and again. I stopped listening to it, but then a couple of weeks ago I put it back on again, because all the songs on there are fantastic. There's not a boring track on this album for me. Go on YouTube, listen to it, and you'll see what I mean. I mean, there's some fucking awesome riffs on this album as well. Really, really good stuff. Brilliant solos. The vocals carry really well. I mean, the band picture there, they're just sitting there. I don't know if you can see that. Having a pint on some rocks. Really random for the back of the CD. The artwork's killer. And I managed to see this on vinyl, so I'm kind of tempted to go and buy this on vinyl now, just so I've got both, because I really, really like the album. I do prefer having things on vinyl over CD, just because to me it sounds, authentic. But yeah, it's a great album. There's another picture of them holding beer mugs down by the seaside. But yeah, totally worth checking out. Really, really heavy stuff, but not in like an over-the-top heavy way like some of those albums I just showed. This is more structured, with loads of solos in there, like loads of lead work, building up tracks. Really solid stuff. And I'm surprised they're not as big as they are for the sound on this album, because for me it was top-notch stuff. I really, really liked it. So I don't think there's anything else by them. I think there's a few demos and splits, but this is the only full length they've ever put out, which is unfortunate, because for the band itself, easily can compete with some of the bigger boys, for me anyway. So yeah, so definitely check them out. That's DeathEvokation. I'll put a link to all the bands, because most of these logos no one can fucking read unless you read the spine of a CD. So yeah, check them all out. Put the links in below. Nearly at 100 subscribers now. I think I've got 4 left, and I've got 100 subscribers, which is amazing, considering I thought I'd probably be on 50 for a good while. And I think the channel's only 2 months old nearly now. So I'm really grateful for the people that kind of watch these videos, and I've met some really cool people. I've been speaking to quite a few chaps on Instagram, on here, and it's so much fun. And I've found so many cool bands since to start and doing all this, and I love doing it. So if you enjoy the video, let me know. If you enjoy the bands, let me know. Give us a subscribe and a like on this video. Tell me what you think, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.